Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Mace. I'm coming to you from Canada, and we see the subtitles right here. These young ladies are saying, we love Canadians. And listen, we love Americans too. We just don't particularly love the millions who voted for Trump. And hey, they're free to vote for Trump. They're free to also reap what they sow. Let's get into it. What do Americans think of Canadians? Americans versus Canadians, differences and similarities, because at the end of the day, we're very, 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 very similar. Yet the two countries are vastly different. I think the people are so similar. The countries have vast differences. Let's hop into it, man.
Canadians!
A lot of people around the world seem to think that Americans and Canadians have a lot in common. Today we're in Tampa, Florida, and we're going to ask Americans.
Well, Florida's, yeah, that's like another planet compared to Canada. Okay, you're going to Florida. Okay.
What they think of Canadians. What are the differences and the similarities? What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Canadians?
Bacon, Justin Bieber, and something about them's like really nice.
Bacon, Justin Bieber, and something about them is really nice. Okay.
Okay, what about you? What do you think?
Yeah, definitely Canadian bacon.
I get the impression that they're nice. That's about it, really. I mean, I know a couple of Canadians and they're nice people. I know that's like a stereotype kind of, but I mean, that's, I don't think it's
Always
a bad
apologizing.
one. So, yeah, that's the impression I get.
Saying sorry.
I can't really think of any bad ones off the top of my head. Most of it's like they're nice people like that.
Heard some stereotypes, like they're nicer. I know there's big culture around hockey and winter and snow. That's really cold there.
Very cool.
Can confirm there is a very big culture around hockey. Hockey's also been growing in the States a lot, though, as well. The States are really becoming, they are a hockey superpower now, along with Canada. I think Canada has bragging rights right now. We'll see what happens this year in the Olympics. Let's get it.
Yeah.
What are the stereotypes that you guys hear over here in America about Canadians?
I think that it seems pretty peaceful there compared to here, from what I've heard. So,
In what sense do you mean peaceful?
like with politics and things like that.
Montreal, because it's right next to it's like an hour from where I live.
Where do you live?
Plattsburgh.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. What about you?
I think of hockey mostly, yeah.
Have you guys interacted with a lot of Canadians before? Or?
I haven't even talked to a Canadian once.
I met a guy from Toronto, and he was chill. I liked him. He was nice.
What are the common stereotypes that you guys hear about Canadians over here in America?
I don't really know that much about Canadian stereotypes.
It's just that they're really nice. Like,
Really
that's
nice.
like the most basic stereotype.
What kind of similarities do you think
Yeah, I don't really like the question like, what's the first thing you think of when you think of a Canadian? Or what's the first thing you think of when you think of a Norwegian? Like, whatever it is. Like, it's not like my favorite question because it puts people on, and especially when people are being interviewed on the street, like their brains are already not necessarily working at 100% capacity because a lot of people have trouble public speaking and they get nervous. And like, honestly, I have this issue when I have to speak in front of groups of people in person, mind you, but like, yeah, your brain really tenses up and freezes up. So it's definitely something that we have to remember when we watch some of these like guerrilla street interviews that make people look really stupid. However, some of the questions are ridiculously easy and they should be answering them 100%. I've seen a lot of Americans like butthurt in the comments like, you're calling America stupid for voting in Trump? You guys just voted in Carney. And it's like, bruh, you're comparing Trump to Carney. That's laughable.
Canadians and Americans share? What are the differences do you think they have?
Wait, start with her.
Well, I feel like it depends where they live, but
Okay.
the guy in Toronto is basically like the same as Americans, I would say.
Very similar, right?
The Canadians there are a lot more polite than the Americans there.
Maybe the healthcare system. I don't know. I feel like they got a little better than us with the universal healthcare and all that.
Well, one of my teachers is Canadian, and she says that they don't do a lot of like standardized testing in America. That's like a big thing. There's a lot of standardized testing. So I mean, like maybe that's a difference. Also, I'm sure like there's a lot of different like politics wise. It's very different. I don't really know, but I mean like stuff like that. Like I'm sure they have like different. Like the atmosphere is different.
The tone culture.
Yeah, the culture is a little different, but yeah.
Probably.
Canadian politics is, hey, guy, I disagree, buddy. Listen, buddy, you're not my friend, guy.
Attitude and how people interact with each other. And I know there's definitely a lot of people in Canada speak French in like Montreal, and Quebec.
I haven't really found too big of a difference, I would think. So
Very similar. In what aspects do you think Canadians and Americans are similar? That's the last question.
Really, honestly, I think the language is relatively the same, really, and we can communicate just fine. So I think that's
Yes, we can communicate fine. We both speak this exact same English.
what we have in common. So that's good.
Can you do a Canadian accent?
Hello, I am Canadian. I don't know. I'm really bad. I know they say like they like instead of like about, they say like a boot, kind of like.
It's stupid, and no, we don't say it like that. And a Canadian accent, like, that's very vague and generalized. Like, you'd have to ask for a specific area of Canada, like Toronto, or Quebec, or the prairies, versus like the West Coast, as like where I am on Vancouver Island, and in Vancouver, the Lower Mainland.
I don't know. That's what I've heard though, but what I've seen. But yeah, I like Canadians. I think they're great.
So where are you from?
I was originally born in Nicaragua.
When you hear Canadians, what kind of things do you first think of?
Very nice people. The whole rendezvous, that's it. It's just really nice people. I have some Canadian friends that say sorry a lot.
What do you think are the differences between the American culture and
Not a
Canadian culture
stereotype.
from your perspective?
The American and Canadian culture, I really don't know because I haven't experienced that much. And the Canadian culture, I have like 2 friends from Canada, but they're very like Americanized, if you can say it that way. So I don't really know.
And in what ways do you think they're similar to each other?
It's similar to
From
each
a
other.
Hispanic person's point of view.
From a Hispanic point of view, they're the same. They look the same. I mean, yeah, Canadians, yeah, they're very similar. They're almost exactly the same, at least from my perspective. Yeah, Canadians are more apologetic and nicer.
So I'm not sure like what he means at this point when he says, "Oh, Canadians, they look the same from a Hispanic point of view," but Canada is now so multicultural. There's people of innumerous backgrounds and cultures here. The thing is, the world is becoming much more cosmopolitan, and there's many shared ideas, shared memes, and just shared culture that kind of crosses borders now. And a lot of people coming from different cultures. And the same with the US. The US is a nation of immigrants as well. Like, and Canada, colonial historically as a country, steeped in a colonial history, Commonwealth, the British, but like my ancestry, Icelandic, English, Scottish, a little bit German. So yeah, everybody, for the most part, is an immigrant, unless you're First Nations.
But other than that, that's about it.
So they're both considered like gringos in your country.
Yeah. Even though gringos, technically speaking, gringos are just the Americans. Generally speaking, they would be gringos too.
Like, in what aspects do you think Americans and Canadians are similar?
I feel like our cultural preferences are pretty similar.
I would say the same. Our values are, I would say, pretty similar overall, but I don't know, I'm not that well versed in it, in Canadian culture.
No worries. So what kind of stereotypes do you guys hear about Canadian culture here in America, or about Canadians?
I feel like no matter where you are, a stereotype from people that don't live where you live is that they can't drive. Like in New York, we think that, like, you hear a lot of times Canadians can't drive, but you see the same thing about like New Jersey can't drive.
Canadians
Florida
can't drive.
You hear a lot of that.
Really, I've only heard positive stereotypes, like how Canadians are a lot nicer than Americans.
A lot more friendly and stuff?
Yeah, a lot more approachable or friendly.
So I think it is fair to say that the reason for these quote-unquote positive Canadian stereotypes are kind of because the contrast of stereotyping Americans, the stereotypes surrounding Americans are typically quite negative. Unfortunately, that's due to a lot of the leadership and the current president. So, but I think millions and millions of Americans have the values of honesty, integrity, loyalty, freedom-loving people. It's just they happen to have a wannabe autocrat, narcissist, bully in the White House. So, all right. See you soon. Let me know what you think down below. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and throw a like there. And I'd love to hear from you guys. I'm going to start trying to respond and read every comment as best I can, because that's what I gotta do. That's what I gotta do. And sorry if I don't respond to you. There we go. A little Canadian, a Canadian hospitality to end the video. See you soon.